Picture this, you log in, eyes wide, adrenaline pumping, and suddenly you realize you've blown all your echo tubes on filler echoes, drained your stamina on low-level content, and spent precious astrites like it was free. If that sounds familiar, you are in the right place, because today we're uncovering every mistake you need to avoid in Wuthering Waves when it comes to saving resources.
You're ready to pull for your favorite character, but there's one problem. No loot. Instead of overpaying through the in-game store, head to lootbar.gg, today's sponsor, where the recharge process is fast, safe, and simple. You'll get an 11% discount plus a 10% new user coupon, saving you almost 21% compared to the official price. Your loot will arrive in seconds, and you'll be back in the game summoning top-tier characters and weapons. I was super skeptical of this, that I ran my own test, and it says that you'll get delivered your loot in 30 minutes, but I got them in under 5 minutes. It was really fast. So with thousands of positive reviews and unbeatable prices, lootbar.gg is the smarter way to recharge in Wuthering Waves. Click the link in the description in order to start saving money now.
First of all, never ever use echo tubes on white, green, or purple echoes. These common and uncommon options are essentially stepping stones towards better gear. So investing in them is like pouring water into a bucket with holes. Instead, wait until you have gold/legendary echoes, because upgrading those supplies meaningful benefits to your team damage, survivability, or utility. By focusing on high rarity echoes, you ensure every tube actually counts towards progress. Next, let's talk about stamina. It's tempting to farm familiar zones or complete every mission quest, but split focus often leads to slow progress. Instead, reserve your stamina for weekly bosses, tacit fields, and material zones that actually drive character and weapon upgrades. These high-impact objectives significantly accelerate your account development, whereas grinding low-level mobs yields diminishing returns and waste valuable time. A surprisingly common error is the imbalance between hoarding and overspending. Some players save every resource and never upgrade, while others spend everything at once and get nothing done long term. The key lies in moderation. Use Lunite and Astrite strategically on banners for characters you need, not on basic pools, especially at the beginning, or reserve them for essential materials and events. This balance ensures sustained growth without exhausting your stash, especially at the start when you don't want characters that will fall off or power creep easily, especially if you want to finish that TOA, which is the Tower of Adversity, or the Wuthering Waves. These two endgame content ensures that you have the natural flow of Astrite this week, which enables you to summon for every character you want, especially at the start, so make sure to do that. Which leads me to my next point, which is banner fatigue is real. New characters look shiny and powerful, but not every resonator fits into your squad or play style. Pulling without planning leads to duplicates or unused characters. Instead, craft a banner strategy, focus on characters that fill weaknesses in your team or bring unique utility. That way, your limited Astrite goes towards meaningful additions rather than underused possibilities, especially at the start, like I mentioned, if you want to get that natural flow of Astrites each week or each month, depending if you do the Tower of Adversity or the Wuthering Waves. Which leads me to my next point, which is weapons. Weapons make a significant difference, but not all 5-star weapons are created equal, and certainly not essential in the early game. Maxing out every newly acquired weapon only drains materials you'll need later, and especially if you're summoning for every weapon you see for each character. Instead, prioritize upgrades for your main DPS, and also something that you should note that in Wuthering Waves, weapons can be swapped and be given to other characters, so you don't have to spend your Astrites on every weapon banner. Sometimes you can use other weapons if they fit their playstyle. So what I mean by that, sometimes a solid 3 or 4-star weapon often performs just as fine until you are ready for the endgame content. This advice is for the newly players, is that skipping daily commissions or forgetting weekly boss runs is a slow path to falling behind. Daily quests reliably provide premium currency, while weekly bosses drop high-level upgrade materials and echoes. Set reminders or develop a login routine so you never miss them. Over time, the cumulative rewards from these tasks will make a massive difference in your account progression, especially if you want to reach that end game content very quickly in order to farm those precious astrites. Speaking of new players, every new player wants that level 80 next to their name, but using high rarity materials too early can backfire. The most efficient path is to build towards level breakpoints like 40, 60 or 70, especially for your main carry characters. This approach conserves a lot of essential resources without sacrificing performance, because echoes and weapon strength often matter more than raw level in mid-game content, and also you want to save those resources for a character that you're willing to use in the long run, so make sure not to waste your resources on a character that is possibly you're not going to be using in the future. Another advice that I can give a lot of players is that Wuthering Waves isn't just about brute force, it's about synergy. Too often players read an echo's description superficially and miss how it buffs or effects interact with their resonator attacks, so by taking a few moments to understand how echo stacks, cooldowns or passive buffs work, you'll optimize team synergy, buff duration, and energy generation, and that all adds up in combat effectiveness, especially in the WuWa or the Wuthering Waves, where they are time related, so you want to finish them in an exact time before the time runs out, so every second counts. So make sure to read your buffs, read your echoes, read everything about your character in order to maximize your damage when doing these tasks. Another mistake that I see very often is that the shop is full of tempting items, but not all are worth it. Spending Lunites or shell credits on XP potions or weapon materials often yields lower value than focusing on weekly echo or character materials in the shop. Instead, aim to stock up on permanent materials and freebies, and only purchase cosmetic or small time items after you've invested where it truly matters. And what I mean by that is that Wuthering Waves or every gacha game is time gated, so give it time instead of rushing and spending your resources on stuff that you can acquire later on by just waiting. Which leads me to my next point, is that there is a lot of events that are time limited, and these time limited events are among the most lucrative activities in the game. They frequently offer free characters, materials, echoes, and Astrite, even if they feel repetitive or grindy. Jumping into event tasks and challenges early ensures you reap maximum rewards. The payoff is too significant to pass up, so make sure to do them and don't pass them on. Another mistake that I see very often is that new players often follow the main story quests, but the main story quests are fun, but the world of Wuthering Waves hides exploration wealth, hides bosses, treasure chests, resonance towers, and gear loot. Racing past these is like refusing a side buffet because you are focused on the main course. Set dedicated time to explore each map, even just 15 minutes per zone to claim resonant towers that reduce stamina cost and boost stamina regeneration permanently, and also make sure to explore those areas where you can actually find those chests where they contain a lot of astrites, so don't pass on the exploration, take time and explore everything you can. To sum it up, in short, play smart, not hard, avoid squandering echo tubes on low rarity gear, farm stamina where it counts, balance saving with measured investment, pull wisely, upgrade strategically, especially at the beginning, complete dailies, and explore diligently. If you complete all these, your future self will thank you when your resource stash allows consistent power-ups rather than panic decisions. If this video helps even a fraction in protecting your echo tubes, stamina, or sanity, then it did its job. Let me know which mistake hit home for you, or which one you're most guilty of. Hit that subscribe button if you find that this helpful. A like on this video would help with the YouTube algorithm. And without being said, thank you so much for watching, and I'll be catching you guys in the next one. Bye bye.